We're live from Manila. Just thought I'd do a little impromptu live to see anybody would show up. I didn't schedule it at all. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the fire horse and what 2026 represents. I think that door's not locked there, honey. Yeah, we're coming to you live from the Motel 6 located in Binondo, just outside Chinatown in the Philippines. One thing I'd like to say about that is we are truly, truly happy that we came and experienced the celebration on for Chinese New Year. Some call it Lunar New Year, I guess is what they call it. So there were fireworks, there were millions of people crammed into Binondo. I don't know if you saw it on TV or not, but it was chaotic. And you had news crews and everything. Oh, look who's here. Larice is here. 20 months. We truly appreciate that support. Larice, thank you so much. Lou is in the house. Simply Lou, how are you? So it was jam-packed. Of course, I always get a little bit paranoid, when it's so crowded like that, because I worry about pickpocket and things like that. But I didn't see any strangeness going on in the crowds at all. Just people trying to squeeze by, competing with the automobiles that were going back and forth on those narrow streets in Chinatown. It was pretty crazy, but it was a craziness that made it fun. That was the reason why we were there. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Who's here? Charm is here. My eyesight is giving me trouble tonight. I don't know if I could see all the little words on the screen right now. Angelique is here. Hi, Angelique. How are you? Jalen is here. So, shout out to you. Thanks for joining me. So anyway, it was, it was fun, and it continued to be fun through that entire weekend. And also, even tonight, we were down there at Lucky Chinatown Mall. We went up there to eat dinner, and we were having a blast. We're still in Manila, but we're leaving tomorrow night. We're going to be headed for Taipei. Now, the thing about Taipei is we've never been there before. We have a friend there, a relative actually, who's going to be helping us out a little bit, get around. But we're coming in really early in the morning. It's a red-eye flight. Red-eye. Dead-eye Dan, right? And so what this is, what it means basically is we're leaving the budget flight. We're leaving at 11 or 12 at night. I'm not exactly sure. And then we're getting it around 2. It's a 2.5-hour flight, and I'm not sure what the hour changes are like, but I discovered something that, I wasn't too pleased to hear, and that is that we're not going to be able to make it out of the airport until 6 in the morning, because that's when the metro train gets running from the airport. And we could take an Uber from the airport or a Grab from the airport to the hotel, but the problem with that is that it costs a fortune. It's actually cheaper, way cheaper, to hang around the airport until 6 in the morning when the trains start running again, and we could take it to the central train station in Taipei. So am I a little bit nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about doing that whenever you go to a place that you haven't been before, but everybody tells me that, oh no, it's a piece of cake. Everybody speaks English. It's you're right in the heart of the city, and you'll have a really, really good time there around the central train station area and the food market or the outdoor markets they have. And relatively speaking, it's way cheaper, they say, than the Philippines. Now, I'm not sure about that, but I did Google it to check it out. It seems to be true. Seems to be that accommodations and food, the cost of food and things like that, are a little bit cheaper. It all depends if you're going there as a local or going there as a tourist. But I will be going in there. Minnie and I will be going in there as touristy as we could possibly be, but we won't be spending much money. And I want to talk a little bit about that, right? So I was a little bit nervous. I'm not nervous now. I mean, I should have thought this all the way through, but we had time on our hands today, or was it today we went down to Amabini, or was it yesterday we went down there?
Yesterday?
Yesterday we went to Amabini, to the money changer, and to the casino. All right, so here's what we did. Here's what we did. So we had time on our hands. I found out that their Mabini in Manila, some of you may know this, is loaded down with international money exchange folks. And when I Googled it, I discovered that there isn't much difference in the exchange rate that you could get here in the Philippines for Taiwan dollars, as they weren't that different than what you can get at the airport. As a matter of fact, the rates sometimes can be, a little bit better here. So I decided, it's no big deal. What's losing a few pesos or a few Taiwan dollars? It's not going to kill me. We'll go down to Amabini since we have time. We finished our business early, and we had the rest of the day to ourselves. We ended up down there about 11. So what we did was, and the casino, when we discovered there was one around the corner. I know we're bad. What can I say? Mel is here. Hi, Mel. Melanie Kalapayan. Anime Reyes in the house. I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream. Okay, so a week probably, but not on a Friday night. I was talking about the money changer. So we went in there. Now, the rate of Philippine pesos, which we had exchanged into Taiwan dollars, is you'll get half as much. So if you go in there, I think I exchanged 20K pesos, which isn't a whole lot for Taipei, I think. I think that it was a starter idea. I'll go in, I'll exchange 20K, I'll walk out with 10K, and I'll be happy. So we ended up getting an exchange rate of 1 Philippine peso equaled 0.52 in Taiwan dollars. So I just wanted to share this with you in case any of you are planning on going there. You'll know what the exchange rate is. The official published exchange rate, if you were to look it up in the Forex exchange where they do all the money changing, the published rate today was somewhere, or the hour that we were doing it was 0.54. But basically what that means is you're going to get half as much in Taiwan dollars as you for your Philippine pesos. And so that's shocking, when you see 20,000 Philippine pesos turned into 10,000 Taiwan dollars, and then you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing with them, right? Chrissy Mama's here. Hello, Chrissy. How are you? So, yeah, it's frightening. It shocks you. It shocks you. You're like, oh, man, what did I just do? But that was only, a couple points less than what the published rate is. And they were happy to do it. So maybe they were sitting on some Taiwan dollars. So I think in that area of town, it's very, very popular because that's Ermita on Amabini. It's Malate. You have a lot of action going on, if you know what I mean. You've got visitors coming in from all over the world because they're coming in there to their respective embassies that are really close by, right? Because you do have the U.S. Embassy, you have the Philippine Consulate, you've got our embassy, no, consulate, embassy. You've got all the center of government really close by. So you have diplomats visiting and coming in, and you got all kinds of action going on, right? That's why they have international money changers there. Was not too far from where we were conducting business. So it was only like 3 or 4 kilometers away. Shout out, how are you? Oh, hey, shout out Justin Clyde Official. How are you? Have we run into each other yet? Maybe crossing each other's paths in the street. One day we're going to hook up. So we're headed out tomorrow night. Like I said, on the red eye. We're ready to go. I got Taiwan dollars in my pocket, ready to spend. And from what I understand, the airport, not what I've seen. I've been through Taipei a few times, only transiting through, right? And I haven't seen anything spectacular that I could report. But people are telling me that they have rest areas that are very comfortable in that airport. It won't be such a big deal. Oh yeah, that's right. We have met once on the Jeep, right? But not lately. Not lately. But anyway, so they say that there's areas that you could rest. You have to buy a thing called an Easy Card and load it up, top it up so you can use the metro. So I'm working through all that stuff, and I probably, when I'm done with this live stream, I have to register so that they know that we're coming. So they have an e-travel registration page. Cebu Pacific, that we're flying, that international flight into Taipei, they sent a link. They sent a link in the mail, and in the email, and they said, okay, don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do your exit stuff in the Philippines, in Manila, and then don't forget to sign up at Taipei so that they know that you're coming. Thank you so much, 7 million people that are in the house. And so I've done the e-travel, because that's a 3-day before you fly requirement, right? Within 3 days. And the other one, the Taipei one, I haven't done yet, because they only do it 3 days in advance. And when I went to go try it a couple days ago, my dates for travel weren't available yet. And then I forgot I had to do it, and so I left it off, and now I just remembered I got to still go do it. So anyway, it is what it is, right? So we're looking forward to it, because we're going to be around that central train station area. Some of you may know it from being there before. And so, it's not probably going to require getting around except for walking or using the bus or using the metro. And that's why we need that Easy Card pass. So if you ever get over there to Taipei, then you want to be aware that that's the way you do it. You go into the airport, I guess in the basement, you go to the 7-Eleven, you buy the Easy pass card, or whatever they call it, Easy credit card, tap and go. You top it up, and from what I understand, it's going to cost me something like $5 American, and then it's also going to cost something like $5 to put some money on it, right? And we're talking American money. So once we do that, then it's tap and go on the metro or buses, and then it's relatively cheap getting around. So that should be very, very exciting, I would say. What do I got, a raid going on? Raid! Yeah, Catherine, welcome in, welcome in. 4 million people in the house. So that's the game plan for tomorrow night late, which means that we got to get some sleep tonight and be ready for being awake for a few hours. I let the hotel know that we're staying at. I let them know that we won't be coming in until 7 in the morning, 6:30. It's a ways from that airport where we're staying. Where we're staying is probably 30 or 40 minutes. I don't know how many stops. I don't want to predict or guess. It's a ways from the airport. So, but that's what we have going on, and I'll find one of them relaxing, sleep, easy chair things that you could rent, and I'll rent one of them and rent one from Dam and Minnie, and then we'll hang out there until the morning hours. But we're getting in, I don't know, isn't there a 1 hour difference in time? Somebody look that up. Can somebody Google that? What's the time difference? Is it 1 hour? We're going to be in Taipei, like I said, if I haven't already said it, for 5 days, which I may have 5 days may be too long, right? 5 days. I mean, 5 days is perfect for Manila. We've been here actually a week, maybe 10 days. I don't know, but we've been here a while. So, and the timing is just right. It's just perfect. I love this city, I got to tell you. It is so exciting. Manila is so exciting. I don't know what people are complaining about. The traffic, the noise, and all that. It's all part of the experience, right? It's all part of what it's all about. You're either going to like it or you're probably going to hate it. But you should. If you come to Manila or you live here, you know what I'm talking about. You need to give it a chance. You need to give it a chance to work, right? So let's talk about 2006. Oh, but I want to listen, I'll probably go on about things that just cross my mind when they happen to cross my mind. But uh, I've seen some interesting things happening on YouTube, and a lot of negativity where the talk is focused around how people's views are tanking, the participation rate is in the toilet, that this is happening, that is happening. When I took a look at it, I kind of saw it. I kind of see it. I see that people, including me, we're not getting the watch hours anymore. We're not getting the views like we used to. And it's simply because maybe we're reaching that point of market saturation on YouTube where there's just so many different channels to explore that really you would be kind of, a fool to hang with one person. We could get out there to see what the world has to offer. I mean, I must watch 20 different YouTube channels that have nothing to do with the Philippines. They're about all kinds of different things, right? About politics, about the economy, about money, about banking, about this, that, and the other thing. So I mean, I'm all across the board. And then but really, if you want to build a channel, you got to focus on one thing. And I'll tell you what, I haven't been doing a very good job of it. I haven't been doing a very good job of offering anything except lifestyle, what daily living is like, in the Philippines. Building a house, work in the garden, going to eat a Jollibee every day, hitting up Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and an occasional Krispy Kreme, you know what I mean? But for me, it's a no-brainer to do videotapes on that sort of stuff just to show people, demonstrate to people that the Philippines is not is not the third world nation that they have been told it is, that it actually is becoming very, very westernized. And you know who said it recently? You know who said it the most recently was the regular guy of the Philippines, right? I watch his channel pretty religiously to see what he's up to. And lately he's just been doing daily stuff, but he's been doing live streams consistently almost every day, and they're starting to produce money for him. So I never have thought, I have thought about it, but I'm not in a situation like the regular guy, and he knows it, we've talked about it, where I have to do it for a living because I'm already retired, I've already worked, I've completed I did my 40, as my dad used to say. Do your 40. Actually, my dad would say, do your 20 and earn that pension. But those were during the times when there was a pension to be had. And now the world is changing, and that is a good segue into 2026. How easy is it now to get a government job? Well, actually, it has never been easy to get a government job, except the year or two that I applied. And so luck has a lot to do with it. So stateside in California, in the county in which I was working in, which was Sacramento County, they were desperate for people for a couple years straight, maybe 4 or 5, because there was a tremendous amount of need, right, in the social services area, and I happen to be the social services guy, right? Listen to what I talk about, and you could figure out that I'm all about language and culture and society and race and with politics and some other things stuffed in there, right? So, that being said, I got lucky. And I did 22 years, and it's insane the kind of money that they're paying me. It's insane what they're giving me for staying home. I almost am to the point where I could say, I don't really trust that the money will be there tomorrow, and that's because it's too much. But nor can I say that I would give the money back, if you know what I mean. So you combine those two government pensions, both that I've earned. One is a federal Social Security, and the other one is the private pension. And you got to start thinking, man, something is screwed up somewhere. I mean, how could you just lay out that money, you know, for a few years worth of work? You know what I mean? I mean, it's insane. But they don't do it like that here in the Philippines. You have to work, you have to work till you're 60. They do let you go at 60. They let you retire. You have the opportunity to start drawing your Social Security at retirement, but you pretty much have to build your own, pension or retirement scheme aside from Social Security. But if you get that government job, you best hang on to it because you're one of the chosen few. And so, we have relatives, we have brother-in-law Jell, who does happen to have a government job, so I know how all that works. And he's very, very lucky, and he knows it. He dang well knows how lucky he is to have that job. And so, but I'm telling you, take it from me, it's absolutely insane what they give you for a government pension, both Social Security and the pension. I did make enormous contributions. I'm not going to lie to you. We had to make contributions. We had to make big contributions in order to get the payout, but not the type of payout that we're getting right now. But I see huge economic and social change. I just want to share my vision, so I'm lucky. And Minnie is lucky. Sometimes plain, just dumb luck comes into play. And that's how we view us. That's how we view myself. For the stars line up, the planets line up, God opens up the heavens. Call it what you will, whatever you believe in, but it happened. But what's happening in 2026? I'm going to share my observations because the fire horse, the year of the fire horse, means that it's been the fire horse. It's just simply not the year of the horse. Most of you know this. It's the year of the fire horse, which we haven't seen. We only see once every 60 years. And so in order to understand what was going on, you got to look back to 1966. So I want to tell you, if you care about your future, which I think you should after I'm done doing this live stream, you go Google the social changes that occurred in 1966 and come back to me and make comments and talk to me about what you learned, because it will most likely scare the living crap right out of you because I lived through it. So I'm here to tell you, we went through enormous amounts of economic and social change. But I want to tell you what I've observed here in the Philippines. Economic and social change. What am I allowed to talk about? I'm just going to talk about nothing specific, but I'm going to talk about general observations I'm going to share with you, but nothing specific, okay? That's the rules. I'm not allowed to throw my hat in the ring and discuss anything very specific, but I'll generalize. Generally speaking, we have seen civil participation, more so in the Philippines than we've seen in the past 60 years. Actually, since the 1970s, the early 1970s. Do you know what was going on in the Philippines in the early 1970s? Would somebody like to chime in if you know what was going on? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you, we're going to come back to that in a minute. Another thought just crossed my mind. It shows you probably how scatterbrained I am a little bit at times. But Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao have signed on the dotted line. They inked a deal to fight in that boondoggle, what do they call it? Boondoggle of a dome in Las Vegas. So they're setting that thing up for the fight of the millennial, which is going to be happening between Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And you know the reason why? Because it does have something to do with 2026. They're both going broke. That's what I think. I'm just sharing my opinion. Go check it out. I don't believe that Manny publicly discloses his debt to the world. I don't believe he does that. I don't believe he publicly discloses his net worth. But I'm telling you, we were having a little discussion with a few friends today from the States who are aware that there might be some financial gains that need to be made here because they're both, it has been rumored and only rumored that they both are in a dire financial need, which prompted them to come together on this multi-million-dollar fight. And a fight, it's going to be the fight of the millennial. That's what's happening in 2026. So that's economic, right? So the other thing is, I've made some observations, and that is that so people have not curtailed their spending patterns in the Philippines. What I mean by that is, I still see plenty of people spending crazy money in the Jollibee, in the McDo, in the KFC, in the Popeyes. Oh, I was born in 1957, so I was around. I was hanging around when all the turmoil was going on in the States. And so what we had going on was we had the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War, we had people protesting on the streets. I certainly can talk about that, because that's my experience that I could share with you. All this stuff was going on, and it was a very trying time for the economy. Interest rates were really, really high. They went to double digits. People couldn't afford the mortgage oh man, I don't know if you could relate to this, because in the United States they don't cash out a house. They don't build on their relatives' property, on the relatives' land, a house as you go. When you have money, you buy some more hollow block, and next thing you know, you have a house. Whenever you've gathered up enough money to pay for the materials, you have a house. And that is yours. You don't know, no one else owns it. You own it because you paid for it, lock, stock, and you paid for it through your hard work. You brought home a paycheck. So many pesos went to pay for that house. And so you know what I'm talking about. But in the States, they go to the bank and they get what's called a mortgage. They borrow the money in order to buy a house. Now that is a trend that is occurring more and more here in the Philippines, in centers like Cebu and BGC, and I would say Western bubbles. They're like bubbly areas that foreigners are converting and making comfortable for themselves, to enjoy their lives. They go to the bank, but it's not as easy to get a loan as they think. That's the whole thing. They discover that buying with cash is better if they have the cash handy that they could spend, right? Anyway, thanks for hanging with me. I really appreciate it. So they go and they borrow money, but they borrow it at crazy high interest rates. But kind of like here in the Philippines, if you go to the bank and you borrow money and they're willing to loan it to you, you're going to pay pretty high interest rates. But also, a lot of people don't know is you can only go as many years on a mortgage here in the Philippines until your age, 55 or 60. So they count on you retiring out at age 60. They don't want to be hung out to dry on a loan for which you can't service. So in the States, they don't care about stuff like that. They'll give you a 30-year mortgage, a 30-year loan. They don't care how old you are. They will give it to you. And now they're even talking about 50-year loans. Come on, sure, buy a house, come borrow the money at these crazy interest rates. And you could owe us the money back in 50 years. So can you imagine Dan going and buying a house at age 20? And then at age 70, when I've completed, my work and everything, and I retire out, I'm still servicing that mortgage until age 70, and then I die. Perfect. It works out. It works out. Paying a mortgage is like paying rent. most of you are paying rent to somebody, right? But here's what I've observed. People haven't curtailed their spending. They're still spending like crazy through our observation. Coming to Manila was a good test to see what people were doing. But here's what I did not like, right? And I could not tell if they were using credit. I could not tell if they're using the debit card. I could not tell. There's no way of telling because the cards looked the same. But when people shop here in Manila, what I was seeing is people were whipping out that plastic card. And that made me a little bit nervous every time I saw it. Cash is king. Cash is king. Always will be. But until there isn't any, right? That's what I fear for 2026. And so how do we know that they aren't borrowing they aren't borrowing from their children's future every time they whip out that credit card because they want, a double shot espresso at Starbucks. And they know they shouldn't be doing it, right? But they got the plastic and they just figure, oh, I'll just service the debt every month. I'll pay the interest. And then we'll go on our merry way. And so cash, it's becoming a thing of the past. You can see it if you observe it here in Manila. I think it's more evident here than it was in Cebu when we spent that week in Cebu. You can see that people are whipping out the card to pay for medical expenses, to pay for coffee at Starbucks, to pay for a dozen donuts at Krispy Kreme. They're whipping out the card. And not only that, more people are accepting them. So I'm not sure, is this just for ease of payment? And they're taking that money straight out of the bank account in a debit card type situation? Or are they actually charging that stuff on credit? Because if they're charging that stuff on credit, holy moly, we're in trouble. Because that means that you have credit expansion going on here in the Philippines. And that is not so good. You'll find out if you ever do it. Thank you, Chrissy, for being there. I appreciate it. You'll find out it's not so good when you realize that every month all you're doing is servicing debt. And your kids need trips to the dentist. They need a medical checkup. They need uniform for school. They need this. They need that. They need things, right? If you do this and you get involved with this, you're borrowing from your kid's future. So 2026 is going to, what happened in 2026 in the States, 1966, the very last year, 60 years ago, of the fire horse, the year of the fire horse, was exactly that. We had inflation. We had people standing in line at the gas station because we had problems. We had oil was being blocked from the same people, the same players as today, by people in the Middle East. And you know what's going on in the Middle East with the United States. We have 3 aircraft carriers there right now. Trump is threatening to launch against Iran if we don't come to some kind of an agreement about their nuclear program. He wants them to give it up. So they had an oil blockade, right, in the Strait of Hormuz. This is history that you should know about because it's about ready to repeat. 60 years later, in the year of the fire horse. This ain't your everyday horse, people. This ain't your everyday zodiac, Chinese zodiac horse. This is the year of the fire horse. Social change, right? What was going on? So economically, we had runaway inflation. We would have to pay people. I remember my parents would send my older brother down to the gas station and say, stand in line for gas. Sometimes he would be there for hours. I might be dreaming this. I can't remember if it's my brother, the neighbor, if my dad did it himself, honestly. I thought, was my brother driving? My brother wouldn't have been driving. He would have been still a kid. He was born in 55, so 65, 66, 67. Maybe. He might have been there. I don't know. I think it could have been Jerry, the neighbor, that was standing in line. But anyway, somebody would have to fill the car up because they were rationing gas. They were rationing all that stuff out. So here's the observation I made, because we're here in the Philippines. We're not in the States. It's already 2026. That is that. We're seeing the prices of goods going crazy. Aren't you guys seeing it? Of course you are. Especially, if you're watching your money very carefully every month, you're watching that monthly budget. You got to make sure all the bills are taken care of and everything is paid. The rent, the water bill, the electric bill, the three most important things, uniforms and food for school, transportation, the like. You would know firsthand that the money is not going as far as it used to. That is the year of the fire horse. That's 2026. And we kind of knew it was going to happen in this year. It's not a coinkydink. History tends to repeat itself. It's almost predictable. Actually, it's predictable in my own mind's eye. But I know people like to get religious on me. Pray, Sir Dan. We'll pray for your lost soul. Please do. I'm very open-minded about such things. I invite you to pray for me. I invite you to. But in any event, I don't think that's going to change things very much. That's the bottom line. I just don't. I think things are still going to happen the way that I think they're going to happen. And that is it. We're going to start going through a period of inflation, and you're going to feel it. Continued inflation. It's going to get worse. You need to start planting a victory garden. You know what those are? Those are survival gardens. Small. They don't have to be very big. Plant your pepper, your bell pepper, your tomato. Plant your whatever you need, right? Learn how to do hydroponic gardening. Learn how to garden without soil and only using river water. Learn all kind of different things to grow your own food for your family, just in case. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. I'm just saying you have to be prepared, whether it's 2026 or some other year. So being prepared gives you a little bit of confidence, gives you strength. Gives you a more positive outlook, a more positive flow, if you will. And even we're doing it. Folks, if you watch the channel and you listen to me and what we're doing, we're making provisions for 2026, right? The time of social and economic change. And so it's happening here in the Philippines. I'm not allowed to discuss Filipino issues because I'm a guest. But you can figure out for yourself what's going on. The turmoil, the civil attention, the attention people are starting to get to certain things that have occurred. I think that no matter where you are in the world, bad deeds are about to be revealed. So if you've been naughty and not nice, you're probably going to be caught at it. Folks, do you believe that where there is smoke, there's fire? Isn't that interesting? The year of the fire horse, and I'm saying, is it true that where there's smoke, there is a fire? There is a fire smoldering that somebody is trying to put out. Let me talk about how you can tell when a person is being deceptive to you. I've talked about it before. I don't mean to bore you. Maybe some of you haven't heard it before. Do you know what an ad hominem is? An ad hominem is that when a person cannot support their argument with facts, and so they start trying to start name calling you, start not directing the argument that is in front of us. They don't direct the argument head on. Instead, they just start making up stuff, saying, well, back there in 1999, I remember seeing your woman with a strange man in the market, and it had nothing to do with the argument that you were talking about. In other words, they try to distract. And how they distract is they distract by name calling, right? They distract by gaslighting. You guys are I don't particularly like the word gaslighting because it makes me think of when we were kids and we used to light our farts on fire by lighting a match, and then the kids would let one go, and then you'd see the blue flame. One time I tried that and I caught my jeans on fire. Someone had to pour water on my ass, and when I got home, my mom just couldn't figure it out. How is it possible that you could ruin this brand new pair of jeans? How did they catch on fire? Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know how you ended up catching these jeans on fire. No. I had many, many accidents as a kid because I was a very, very strange youth. I was a very strange youth, right? Human nonetheless. Human being nonetheless. That's what makes us human, I suppose, is having things like that happen. Anime, you better share this story with your kids. You better share this story with your kids so they don't try farting and then trying to light their farts on fire, because they may not end up with the results that they expected. Tell me the truth, Anime. Did you ever try to do it? Did you ever try to light your fart on fire? Oh, that brings me to a little bit of a similar subject, right? It's connected. It is connected, and that is that you have to think about this. Remember, they're trying to do away with meat. They're trying to make synthetic meat. They're trying to figure out all this stuff so that because cows are bad for the environment because they belch and they fart and all this other stuff, right? Well, what else belches and farts? You ever think about that? Huh? Who's next in the food chain? Oh, let's see if we could sell them on that. The Power Elite, they're sitting around a table right now trying to figure out, let's see if we could sell them on the whole cow theory. If we can, we'll take it to the next level. So yeah, we'll have synthetic cows. Maybe one day we'll have synthetic human beings. I don't know, robots they call them, humanoids. I'm not sure, but anyway. So yeah, so it's already starting to happen, and it's starting to happen in your country. You're not immune to it. You aren't immune to it. None of us are immune to it, no matter where we are, anywhere in the world. I'm just trying to give you some examples. You know what I'm talking about. You're the one going to the grocery store trying to buy groceries. Are you spending more money now than you ever have before? And if you're being honest with yourself, the answer most likely will be yes. You're spending as much time as you possibly can trying to figure out how to keep up with inflation by going to the wet markets and buying your produce and your meat there when you can, because it'll be 30% less of what you pay in the market, in the store, I mean, And so you have to do what you have to do in order to budget that money, because it's what you got. It's what you got to work with every month. So is it going to get worse from here? Well, they don't call me Gloom and Doom Dan for nothing. So I'd have to tell you, yeah, probably will. It probably will, and it's probably going to last a long time. How long? I don't know. It seemed to me that our deal in the States lasted for about 10 years before things started to settle down. And I'm not sure if that's the thing, that things go through these 10-year cycles. I'm not exactly sure. But I probably would predict that it will last 10 years. You're going to see some amazing stuff happen. Now, I've heard people on YouTube talk about good versus evil, and do I believe in all that stuff? Yep, I sure do. I don't think that there would be that they can exist without each other. I just simply don't think they can. You have to have good and evil battling it out all the time, Otherwise, what fun would it be to be hanging around anyway? Hey, so there's only one person. There's only one person listening. Dang! And I was going to give away 500 pesos tonight. I was going to give away 500 pesos. I had already written down numbers between 1 and 35 that I can't remember what they were. And so they're down here. I dropped the paper, but they're down here on my feet, right? And so I was gonna go ahead and conduct a contest. Menge is here. I was gonna have a contest to see if we can give away 500 pesos tonight. And so, but we're gonna do it anyway, even though I'm showing only 3 people watching right now. So, at the sound of my voice, when I say guess, no matter how many people are here, guess a number between 1 and 35. And then as soon as I say start, you can start guessing, and then I will call it by saying stop. Very easy, right? So for who's ever here, you still have to guess the correct number. You still have to, even though there's one person here or two, you still have to guess the correct number to get the 500 pesos, right? So, but we'll go down the list because I have 5. How many times we will guess? Well, you can only guess one. One channel, one guess. So if there's only one guess here, if there's only one person here, it's still only one guess. That's the way we got to do it. And then we'll just keep going until there are no numbers left, until you win. All right, you ready? Pick a number between 1 and 35, starting now. Do 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 do. All right, stop guessing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guessing is closed. Okay, I'm still going to depend on you guys to tell me if there's a winner or not. For all 3 or 4 of you that are here, all right, I'm going to pick up I have to pick the number up off the floor. You'll have to pardon me because I dropped it. But the first number up that we have on this list is number 32. That's number 32. It's right here, 32. Backwards. So number 32, you have to take my word for it. Do we have a winner at number 32? 4 million people in the house. No winner, Animate says. Okay, we're going to go again to the next number on the list. Start guessing in 5, a number between 1 and 35, but don't guess number 32. It's out of play. We shall never pass this way again. Start guessing a number between 1 and 35, but don't guess 32. It's already been, it's out of play. In 5, oh no. Start guessing now. There, that's how we do it. Start guessing now, a number between 1 and 35, but not 32. I'll stand by while you guess. I'll give you a few more seconds to put your numbers in play. Ooh, okay, there's some good guesses. Ryder's here, Lorraine here. Ah, Anime laughing at me. All right, stop guessing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winning number is number 15. Do we have a winner with number 15? Any winners for 500 pesos? Number 15? This might take a while to give away the money. I don't mind. I could be here all night. Menge says no winner. Everybody says no winner. Oh, Mel, well, you were close, right? You were close. You had 14 or something like that, right? All right. Mel, I'm so glad you're here. You have a chance to win, right? before everybody shows up. All right, we're going to do it again. Only one guess, one person, one guess. Choose a number between 1 and 35, but don't choose 32 and don't choose 15 because they're out of play. You may start guessing right now. A number between 1 and 35, not 32 or 15. Get your guesses in. 5 million people in the house have a chance to win. Mini Snow, what do you know? Maybe we got a few more people than I thought. And you may stop guessing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winning number is 25. Do we have a winner at number 25? Let's see, Sir Dan. Let's see. Did anybody win? No winner, Mel says. All right. Whew. I'm going to have to come up with a whole bunch of more numbers in a moment. I thought for sure someone would win in the first 3, right? So the numbers that are out of play now, let's go over them real quick here. The numbers that are out of play, I know it sucks to be me, Anime. It sucks to be me. 8 million people we've grown to. The word's getting out that I'm giving away money. All right. So far, the numbers that are out of play are 32, 15, and 25. We are into this live stream at 52 minutes. Not bad, not bad. So 32, 15, and 25 are out of play. All right. For the 7 or 8 million people that are here right now, please choose a number between 1 and 35, but don't choose those 32, 15, or 25. You may start guessing now. Do 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 do. Stop guessing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. The winning number for the 4th draw is number 6. Do we have a winner at number 6? Or am I still sucking wind? I will wait a couple seconds so you could take a look to see if we have a winner or not. No winner. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. I only chose 5 numbers, and I'm gonna have to get Minnie. Can you grab me a pen? Can you grab me a pen, hon? So in case I have to enter a few more numbers here. All right, we're going to go again. Okay, let's go over the numbers that have not been chosen thus far. We've had 32 get rejected. 15 is out. 25 is history. Number 6 is in the basement. And so that's so far, right? Ate Minnie, shout out. Say hello. That's Mel. Everybody. Hello, she's here. All right. Are you guys ready to go? I didn't give away the number, did I, Anime or Mel? I didn't give away the next number, did I? By accident? All right. They're out of play. 32, 15, 25, and 6 are out of play. So when you're ready to go, 10 million people in the house, choose a number between 1 and 35, but don't choose them, 32, 15, 25, or 6. You may start guessing right now until I tell you it's over. Start guessing. Do 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 do. Keep going. I think we're going to keep going until we have a winner. Multiple guesses. I'm opening it up to multiple guesses. Keep going. Keep going. Another 10 seconds. Keep going. Guess as many times as you like. Let's get a winner. Do 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 do. Okay, stop guessing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop guessing. All right, so man, this is work. Stop guessing. I think I saw the winning number in here. I think I saw it. Somebody's going to win, doggone it. Doggone it. Somebody's going to win. It's time for this show to be over. All right, everybody, the winning number is number 19. Number 19. Do we have a winner? I believe we do. And so let me show you this list. This is what I had going on right here. So I did this before. I wrote all this down. There you go. I didn't realize. No, I should have expected that only a few people would show up. You guys aren't nobodies. Come on, get real. Who won? You guys have to tell me who won. I'm standing by. What? Chrissy Mama is the winner of 500 pesos. Congratulations. Chrissy Mama has won with number 19. So happy we were able to give this money away before the end of the show. Chrissy Mama, please, if I don't have anything here in front of me. So if you wouldn't mind, Chrissy Mama, congratulations. If you wouldn't mind sending your GCash number my way, and I'll get that 500 pesos off to you right now in the GCash. Everybody, thanks for putting up with me tonight. An impromptu live stream. Thanks again for your support. I truly appreciate it. And everybody, we'll see you on the next one, but we don't know when that's going to be. Maybe the live stream is going to happen from Taipei. I don't know. Maybe we'll do live from the central train station. You know, all the market and all that stuff that's hanging around there. Thank you, Mel, for being here. Bye, everybody. We are out. We're going to get out of here. See you later. Have a great rest.